Yeah,
What would you
so
do if she said she didn't want to go to school?
I'd be like, cool, where you working at?
Mm.
Or what if
Yeah,
she want, or what if she wanted to go to like a trade school or
I
something
would
like that?
I would actually love that. I was just talking to my boy who is helping me redo the basement down here. He's a plumber by trade, but he can do all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, if I could do it all over again, bro, I would have jumped into a trade as soon as I could
To
and
have that.
used to have it.
Have those skills. Yeah.
And then if I wanted to go to a regular 4 year college or pursue a master's, whatever, do that in addition to, and just have like a more well-rounded set of skills. Because you could hustle electrician, plumber, carpenter, whatever. You could always
No, they're
find
always needed.
yeah,
Yeah.
Probably a
you'll
lack
always
of.
find money. You'll always,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you're good, right? So like
Yeah.
that to me, like in retrospect, damn, that shit was a mistake. And and for me, it was because my father used to say that to me all the time. He used to be like, but he used to position him a little more negatively. He'd be like, yo, forget about college, man. Go get yourself a trade. That's what you need. Be a mechanic. And he would always use auto mechanic as the thing. And that's all I knew about trades. I was like, oh,
Right.
mechanic is a trade. That's it. So I'm like, nah, yo, I'm not trying to be no grease monkey under the hood of a car, all this shit. And come to find out, like there was a lot of truth to what he was saying. He was just saying it in a way that I just wasn't receptive to
Yeah.
because he knew I had said for a long time, yo, I want to go to college. Like I want to
Right.
go to college and do that traditional college thing. Not knowing I could have done both, stagger him a little, but I could have done both.
Did you guys do or have wood shop and electronics in school? I
Mm-mm.
had that in junior high, and I always think back. I'm like, man, how dangerous is that? Now that I think about
Yeah. Oh,
the
yeah.
stuff that we were working with, like these crazy power saws and stuff. But I did wood shop, which was dope, and to this day, I still have, and my mom still has stuff that I made in wood shop, like stools and stuff like that. And I had an electronics class which I still to this day have a little thing that it's like a light contraption. It just goes back and forth lights.
Yeah.
Still works to this day. And I'm thinking if they don't have that now still in school, that sucks. But how great for kids to experience that. Scary thinking about it though, but what you said is a ill like path. Like get your kids in a trade early on where they have that. Like, there's nothing better. And me, I'm not a hands-on person at all. I
Yeah,
have
me either.
no skills, bro, and it's terrible. I got to hire for everything.
Yeah.
Um, but I do admire these people that are hands-on with everything. That
Yeah.
they're like handymen, women or whatever. Like they know how to do stuff because man, that gets you through a lot, and you could easily make a buck if you know how to do things.
Yo,
Yeah. I mean,
and just the confidence that instills,
hmm
right? You have a challenge, you figure out how to get through it, whatever it is. Like tradespeople, that's what they do all day.
And not for nothing. Now that I think of the little bit of skill that I have, because I am a person that likes to tinker with stuff if it breaks.
Yeah.
But I'm always like, I'm probably gonna make it worse or break it. So I don't have the confidence if it's something that the household needs, but if it's something that's mine solely, I've messed with it and got it to work. I've rigged it in some kind of way, and that's probably the little skill that I learned in those two classes that have able to get me that far.
yeah. No, I'm not like super handy either, but I've like done some things around the crib that I would normally not do or not. And I'm like, fuck it, I'm not gonna wait
Gotta man
around.
up.
Yeah, let me try to do this shit. And one of them, I damn near blew, the entire electrical grid in the
Oh,
crib.
shit.
But then I figured out how to fix it. So it took all day. Um, but there is a sense of like just being able to handle some of that shit on your own. Like, yeah, uh,
Yeah, but
yeah,
electricity is something you got to be careful with
That's a
that
yeah, that one has probably
because
been.
real electricians are they're engineers in a sense. You know what I'm saying?
This
Good ones
wasn't
are.
that this particular thing wasn't even necessarily electrical related, but I
it
ended
affected
up
it.
yeah, it affected it, but yeah, no, it's good to have those skills, man. Like
Well, there
Yeah,
you
no,
go,
it's
fatherhoods.
everything. Yo, for real. Like,
Put your
yo,
kid.
Put your kids in trade school.
Think about it, bro. Don't do like my father and make it a negative experience. Like, yo, like really show out and be able to give them a sense of what the real world looks like when a tradesperson like touches something.
Now, did he make it seem like being a mechanic was negative just because of the way he was saying it, and you weren't necessarily, maybe you weren't feeling him at that time, or because he was like poo-pooing the college idea, and
That
that
it
was
was
Like
yeah.
he's like, this is the man's thing, and you were like, bro, I'm cerebral. Like I don't. That's the
he
grunt work
didn't
shit.
he didn't like chauvinist the situation, but it
Right.
was like he was shitting on college. So here's how it went. He was like, yo, college is expensive, right? That's kind of where he started. And I was already like, I don't give a
Here we
fuck.
go.
I was
Right.
like, I don't give a fuck, cheap ass. Like, I'm gonna
Right.
figure that piece out. And then he goes, nah, man, forget about college. Like he's telling me straight up, like, whatever you want to do college-wise, like forget about that. Because again, it's expensive, right? You go to a trade, even if you got to pay up front a little something, you're probably gonna more quickly get it back, which logically that makes sense. But he already approached it in a way that was counter to what my goals and ambitions were. So
Right.
that right
Yeah.
there just turned me all the way off.
Yeah. Now I've told my son, like, don't make big decisions based on you think something's too expensive or like a money saving thing. I mean, you got to be fiscally smart about shit, but at the same time, you can't like everything's going to cost money or be expensive, but you
Yeah,
can't let
invest
those
in
things.
yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's truer words I haven't heard in a while. Because even like we've moved cross country a couple of times, right? We did it once going from Miami to California and once from Cali to New York.
You guys are wild.
In both in both cases, we were not sure that the amount of money we were generating was going to cover where we were going to live. And we did all the math, we did
Yeah.
as much as we could,
You just never know.
but the numbers just weren't making sense. Like it was like really hair thin. And we was like, yo, are we really trying to do this right now? And lo and behold, each time there was always a surplus. And it was like one of those things where, yeah, like you kind of gamble a little bit, but if you know deep down that's something you really want, the universe figures it out if that's something you really want to do.